Back to the historic confirmation today. The impact of Justice Jackson's confirmation reaches everywhere, and of course, including South Florida.
First black woman who will sit on the nation's highest court. And Josh Navarro spoke to women inspired and hopeful by her calling to the nation's highest court.
Extremely inspirational to see someone that looks like me a Supreme Court justice.
For young black attorneys like Danita Jones, who works for the Legal Aid Society of Palm Beach County, Judge Ketanji Brown Jackson's journey to the highest court in the land is heartening.
She's paved the way so that anyone, no matter what your color, no matter what your gender, knows that they can become a Supreme Court justice. And I think that that is important.
I have a daughter who is 17 and interested in pursuing a career in law, and it makes me very hopeful for her future.
America is changing on how it views race and how it views women in the legal profession.
Denise Mutamba is the president of the F. Malcolm Cunningham Senior Bar Association. She says Jackson's confirmation breaks the ultimate glass ceiling for minorities, especially women in the legal profession.
But a lot of times women, they become attorneys and then within a few short years they leave the profession because of various constraints that occur or happen for women that may not happen for men. So I'm especially excited that she's a black woman, right? Because she brings that diverse perspective and experience to the bench.
She's relatable.
Takesha Miles, who is the supervising attorney for the Legal Aid Society, believes Judge Jackson will not only shape a better legal system, but inspire new generations.
And this is the first time in 2022 that we have an opportunity to put someone on the Supreme Court that looks like a big selection, a big swath of our nation. And I think it gives young girls, young women in college, young women in law school that know that they can do anything that they set their mind to.
While these women are pleased that Justice Jackson overcame all the legal hurdles she encountered, they also emphasize that this is a victory for working mothers, women who balance demanding careers with another important responsibility, raising a generation of good people. In West Palm Beach, I'm Josh Navarro, WPTV News Channel 5.
Governor Ron DeSantis in Boca Raton today awarding a special honor to a Palm Beach County resident for his work prosecuting Nazis after World War II.
WPTV News Channel 5's Brianna Nussbaugh live at Florida Atlantic University with more on this honor. Brianna.
It was a monumental day in the monumental life of 103-year-old Ben Ferenz. Governor Ron DeSantis awarded Ferenz the Governor's Medal of Freedom, the highest honor the state can bestow on an individual. Ferenz received the award for his work as the chief prosecutor during the Nuremberg trials, prosecuting war crimes of Nazis during World War II. DeSantis says he hopes to further the legacy of people like Ferenz and use their stories of inspiration to teach generations to come.
If it wasn't for people like him, you would not have the fortitude that I think we all shared never again to let this happen. And so I think this is a phenomenal award.
Ferenz is the fourth person to receive the honor. Coming up at 6, what he has to say and his message to the country. Live in Boca Raton, I'm Brianna Nussbaugh, WPTV News Channel 5.
For all of the people who help you day to day, you keep going back to your barber to build a certain level of trust.
And that is especially true for one Palm Beach County boy and the man who cuts his hair. WPTV's Alex Hagan with the story of their bond in Riviera Beach.
There's more to it than just
you gotta look the part, man.
A simple haircut.
It's about putting smiles on faces. Yeah, man, definitely. You see the interaction.
Apart from that perfect grooming.
I like the conversation. And you're like, yo, why am I thinking about this?
Terry Francisco values even what his clippers
feels good to get stretched, man.
Can't touch.
That's what it's all about, relationships, man.
The moments of levity. The bonds he makes.
They become friends.
Friends who have kept coming to Terry's hair studio for more than 2 decades.
There you go. Take your time, take your time, take your time.
Including this one.
Take your time, take your time.
On the younger side.
Alrighty.
6-year-old Xavier. WPTV's Keely Ferguson's son. A few years ago,
Mr. Terry, do you put my armpit?
Xavier had a tough time sitting in this chair,
And then everything made sense.
having just been diagnosed with autism at the time.
About to start. Quiet hands, quiet heads.
Keely wondered how she could ever get her son comfortable
I'm too funny.
as he deals with anxiety and sensory sensitivities.
His therapist came in one day and coached both Terry and I on how to walk Xavier through getting his hair cut. Even when he doesn't want to come see Mr. Terry because he doesn't want to get his hair cut, he's able to still get through the process because he has a good relationship with Terry.
It's a cone.
Ready?
Now, every few weeks,
There you go.
How you feeling?
Good. Great.
You're feeling great?
Yes.
it's no big deal.
What are these?
These are called scissors.
The laughs and bonds Terry shares with his other clients. Xavier
As quiet as a mouse.
gets that too.
Yes.
I think for me, what is so special about coming here is that the community around us understands what's going on and they don't ever make us feel shame.
A quick cut with a reward
They right in the wheels.
and proof that a little off on the sides
Can they look at the picture?
doesn't have to be short on connection.
Appreciative for it, and I'm appreciative for their relationship.
In Revere Beach, Alex Hagan, WPTV, News Channel 5.
Beautiful boy.
I
Beautiful
know.
family.
We've known him since he was born. That is for sure. Oh my gosh.
And an autism community that
Yeah.
stands strong as they move forward together. And Keely and that whole family, what beautiful courage.
Exactly.
Terry has at least 2 other clients that come into the shop, by the way, who are also on the autism spectrum.
Incredible. All treated with so much compassion. Just beautiful story. Weather time now. Let's see how we're doing. Much better than yesterday.
Yeah, I would say so, yeah. There's something about a barbershop, isn't there? Just relax, kind of the center of town.
Yes.
And, just a relaxing spot. Well, relaxing today compared to yesterday at this time where we were dealing with a tornado which touched down in Palm Beach Gardens. Tonight, quiet. There are a few showers still working around the Treasure Coast, but lots of clouds around. And the heat and humidity, we're still up in the high 80s in many areas. And there's a look at the rain. So the big storms are now off the coastline. We have some showers that are popping up around Wellington, also a little heavier rain and a couple of storms working toward Okeechobee and into Vero in the next hour. Here's a closer look. Very quick moving showers. This one right around Southern and 20 Mile Bend now. And there's the other line. And some of this will hold together. So especially Treasure Coast, if you're heading out this evening, you'll want the umbrella. And you may hear a few rumbles of thunder. We'll keep an eye on that. But at this point, it just looks like a few downpours and nothing really significant. Certainly nothing like last night. Look at the temperatures. Set a record high today, or at least tied a record high in West Palm of 90 degrees. And we're going to be done with the heat as this front will roll through. Here are the computer models through the night. 8 p.m. Some heavy downpours working around the lake. But as it hits the coast, it really dies off quickly. Tomorrow morning starts off a little unsettled with a lot of clouds around and still the chance for a morning shower. But the sunshine returns as the dry air starts to roll in. So there's the hour-by-hour forecast. Mainly dry in Palm Beach County other than a quick shower, and a little bit more persistent with the rain the next couple of hours. I would say through 8, 9 o'clock on the Treasure Coast and then done. All right, cooler, low humidity, really an amazing weekend setting up. High pressure off to the west, even through Sunday and Monday. That keeps the winds from the north, and that'll just keep ushering in nice low humidity and temperatures seasonably cool for this time of year. Rain chances are very low. That'll bump tomorrow at 20% with the morning showers. Small craft advisory right now. There likely still be a caution in effect through tomorrow. Seas about 2 to 3. Here's your first alert forecast tonight. Still some showers. Chance for a little downpour too on the Treasure Coast. Tomorrow warming up to 82. It's a big change from today, but we keep dropping. Tomorrow night we are into the 50s, maybe even some 40s around the lake and around Vero and Fort Pierce. And it's a slow warm up. In fact, we cool off even more Saturday and Sunday and then warm up a little bit on Monday and Tuesday. Lots of sun, low rain chances, and low humidity. Great timing here for the weekend.
Now driving, Tiger Woods.
Round 1 for Tiger Woods is in the books for the 2022 Masters.
Florida ready to take on a pharmaceutical giant, the lawsuit that's going to trial over the opioid crisis.
Hey, pump those brakes before you head to Burger King when a new investigation's unveiling about fast food packaging might make you want to stay in for dinner. Tomorrow morning, we're diving into the report.
And I'm tracking a strong cold front that will be moving through tomorrow morning. Expect some beautiful weather. I'll have that weekend forecast for you. Tune in tomorrow, 4:30 to 7 on WPTV.
Opening day for Major League Baseball. How's that sound? Well, we didn't think we'd have it a short while ago. 14 teams hitting the field a week later than usual after the owner-initiated lockout that lasted 100 days.
Those negotiations mainly taking place in Jupiter, but the season is finally here to the delight of hundreds of thousands of fans.
Meanwhile, the weather held out and the first round of the Masters got underway.
Jupiter Island resident Tiger Woods playing his first round in his pursuit of a sixth green jacket. This is also the first time Tiger's competing since he severely injured his leg in a car crash 14 months ago.
You'll remember Tiger Woods lost control of the vehicle in Southern California, crashed in the hills outside LA. But he was his old self on the greens today, ending the day 1 under. Just unbelievable, playing with the world's very, very best, and he's right in the thick of it. He tees off tomorrow at 1:41. Well, ahead, could the hot housing market finally be cooling off at 5:55? The sign economists believe could point to a slowdown in those skyrocketing home prices.
This is WPTV News Channel 5 at 5:30.
A quiet day across South Florida with just a few storms, nothing compared to yesterday.
Oh no, First Alert Chief Meteorologist Steve Weigel with a look at a much quieter radar tonight. Steve.
It is. A few showers, a few downpours on the radar, and if you're heading out, I'd bring the umbrella just in case. More so on the Treasure Coast, where we have a couple lines of rainfall, one working into Vero now along 95 and the Turnpike. Heavier downpours that are just to the north of the lake. Those will also hold together and push in the next hour to hour and a half. In Palm Beach County, just spotty showers now around 20 Mile Bend, Wellington, moving in through Royal Palm and the acreage and Loxahatchee in the next few minutes, and that'll push into northern Palm Beach County. And there's a look at the Treasure Coast, where the leading edge of that rain almost into Vero, crossing 95. So a little soggy for some. Temperatures are still through the roof. We're looking at, well, Treasure Coast is cool on the coastline, but it's high 80s elsewhere. And here's a look at the computer models through 7. There's 7 p.m. rain across Vero and Fort Pierce, pushing in around the lake. Maybe a couple of isolated storms, and then just fizzling out after that, loses all of its energy once the sun sets. There's the hour-by-hour forecast. We'll keep at least a rain chance in. As I said, a little higher on the Treasure Coast. Cooler weather on the way. You're going to like that weekend forecast. We'll talk about it coming up.
And remember, track severe weather at your fingertips with our WPTV mobile app. It's free.
In less than 2 weeks, state lawmakers will again try to craft congressional redistricting maps. The governor vetoed the last pair, saying they violate the U.S. Constitution. Capitol reporter Forrest Saunders is in Tallahassee with the story.
As yet another special session approaches, feelings are mixed about what will happen. DeSantis saying this week he's confident compromise on congressional maps is coming.
I think it's going to end up working out, and we'll see what happens over the next couple of weeks. But, at the end of the day, we were not going to just let a court draw the congressional map.
Others aren't so sure. The governor's veto blew up weeks of work. DeSantis calling the two versions lawmakers passed
24 yeas, 15 nays, Mr. President.
racial gerrymanders, citing the minority-controlled 5th District as a violation of the U.S. Constitution.
I think there's a great chance that the court ends up drawing the maps because the legislature and the governor can't agree.
Republican Senator Jeff Brandes says lawmakers followed Florida's Fair Districts provision aimed at protecting minority voters. He calls the governor's argument interesting, but suggests this isn't the time or place.
You're asking the legislature to knowingly violate the state constitution in order to create a legal precedent to go to the U.S. Supreme Court.
That's a legal battle that likely lacks a quick resolution, and candidates only have weeks left to file for districts. Advocacy groups, meanwhile, are pressuring the House and Senate to hold firm. Black voter-focused Equal Ground launching a digital campaign this week targeting 2.5 million, urging they contact lawmakers.
We want the Florida legislature to stand up to DeSantis's bullying and uphold the voter-approved Fair Districts amendments in our state constitution.
It may be a tall order, however. The governor wields considerable political sway over the GOP majority and has yet to approve the budget, containing many member projects easily vetoed. At the Capitol, Forrest Saunders, WPTV News Channel 5.
New information in the shooting at the town center at Boca Raton. It happened just after 7 o'clock last night. When police arrived, they found a man who had been shot in the leg. The victim told investigators he and his friends were walking the mall when a fight broke out. Shots were fired and he was hit in the leg. Two men took off with his wallet. After a brief car chase, the police said that men were taken into custody. 3 firearms were recovered. The victim is expected to be okay.
A jury has been chosen and a trial date set. WALGREENS in the state of Florida are going to court on Monday over the opioid crisis. This is all part of a big lawsuit the state filed against several pharmaceutical companies, including CVS. WALGREENS is the only one that did not settle. Attorney General Ashley Moody says in Florida, Pasco County has been hit the hardest by the crisis. Moody claims one WALGREENS location sold 2.2 million opioid pills in 1 year to a town of just 34,000 people.
Runners from Russia and Belarus have just been banned from participating in this year's Boston Marathon. The ban affects 63 athletes who signed up for either the marathon or the 5K. Russian and Belarusian athletes who are not residents of those countries can still compete, but they cannot run under their flags. Today's announcement comes 2 weeks before the event. Shell says it will take a financial hit after cutting ties with Russia. The international energy giant says its decision to pull out of the country has already cost the company as much as $5 billion. Shell's announcement offers a first glimpse at the potential financial impact to oil companies who are exiting Russia after its invasion of Ukraine. Last month, Shell was criticized for buying Russian crude oil at a cheap price shortly after the war began. The company later apologized and pledged to stop buying oil from Russia.
Walmart announcing new pay raises as it grapples with the worker shortage, the position that now starts at $95,000 a year.
Puerto Rico in the dark. Some new details just released into what sparked a fire at one of the island's main power plants.
There are far more available jobs than there are workers. This, according to the latest data on unemployment claims. The data shows current jobless claims match a low set back in 1968. The Labor Department says claims fell to 166,000 at the end of last week.
Walmart is raising pay for its truck drivers. Currently, they make an average of $87,000 in their first year. It's increasing to up to $110,000. The company is also launching a new 12-week training program in certain areas. It will cover the cost of getting a commercial driver's license.
Efforts to ban library books gaining steam. The survey that revealed a local school district with the most challenged books.
And ahead at 6 o'clock tonight, cryptocurrency. It's becoming more popular, but it is a high-risk opportunity. What's being done to protect people who are trading money virtually?
We have a big cold front on the way, but before that, still a few showers through downpours in Palm Beach County, working in across Wellington, Treasure Coast. It's Vero and Sebastian. I'll let you know how much will cool off as we get into the weekend coming up.
We are following breaking news out of Israel. At least 2 people were killed, several others injured in a shooting in central Tel Aviv. Authorities say the attack happened in an area with several bars and restaurants packed with people. The motive for the shooting is not immediately clear.
Well, it's been 6 months since conservative activists began challenging Florida schools on books they say don't belong on campus shelves.
And since then, our Contact 5 investigators have polled every district in the state to find out how many books have been challenged. We also wanted to know how many have been removed from school libraries.
Contact 5 investigator Katie Legrone reveals what she found and why some fear the worst of school book challenges is coming.
On a recent Tuesday night,
it's not a healthy book to have on the library shelf.
In Polk County,
when we start taking away our children and our First Amendment rights,
more than a dozen people gathered in a meeting room to discuss
kids are already interested in those things.
Books.
Any wealth of knowledge, I believe, which is appropriate to be viewed, should be made accessible to all students.
But a book club, this is not.
I just don't see that it's an appropriate library book.
Instead, these are members of the school district's recently formed book review committees, a voluntary group of educators, parents, community members, and students reading, reviewing, and offering their opinions over whether books that were available to students in some school libraries violate state law for being too sexually explicit or obscene for minors.
I represent County Citizens Defending Freedom.
Kathy Bucklew is among the district's voluntary book reviewers.
Do you have a child in the school district?
Not now.
To date, these committees are reviewing 16 books in question, challenged by Bucklew's group, whose mission is to equip and empower American citizens to stand for and preserve freedom for themselves and future generations.
There are so many options for students that are so positive. Why do we have to keep 16 books that are questionable?
Because they talk about sex, you're saying?
Well, not just because they talk about sex, it's how they talk about sex.
So far, 6 books have been reviewed by the committees, with the vast majority of members voting not to ban them or even change which grade level have access to them.
This is the kind of stuff that matters to me personally.
16-year-old Santiago Duarte reviewed this book, It's Perfectly Normal. Aimed at children 10 and older, it's a frequent target of book bans for its descriptions of puberty, sex, and relationships, along with illustrations, including those of the LGBTQ community.
It's a cartoon. It's harmless. I disagree that it's a form of indoctrination or there's an agenda behind it. These are just normal people just like you and me.
Across the country, the number of books challenged last year to libraries, schools, and universities reached 729, a record according to the American Library Association. And across the state, we found most school districts are not being deluged with book challenges and bans. We polled Florida's 67 school districts starting in February. Of 45 school districts that responded to our requests, 7 districts reported book challenges, with most challenged over just a few books. Polk County's 16 book challenges are one of the highest. But Indian River County Schools has had by far the most of districts that reported to us. 156 books challenged by conservative moms group Moms for Liberty. One of its founders is a resident. But like most districts facing book challenges, Indian River School Board barely budged, deciding to only remove 5 of the 156 books challenged. Moms for Liberty is now appealing.
Doesn't that give you, I guess, comfort for the future?
No. Jen Cousins and Stefana Farrell founded Florida Freedom to Read Project after Orange County schools received a few book challenges. To date, just one, genderqueer, has been removed